All right, so good evening, everyone. I hope we are all doing very, very well. Yes, so as discussed the last time, we know this is our last meeting on lifespan, and of course, we have to do what we call reflective questions and answers that would guide how we should expect the lifespan exams to be. And I think we are fortunate that Doc says it will have three sections. So part A, part B, part C. Then part A will be the objective questions. Then the part B will be the short answer questions. And of course, the final session will be the theory that we will write something. Okay. So please, before I proceed, I want to know if you can hear me. So as we always do. So I need three people to comment that yeah they can hear me. So proceed. And please, if you join, kindly make sure that you like the session. Yes. When you join, make sure you like the session. And let me know if you can hear me, please. Yeah, so let me know so we can proceed. Yeah. Okay, so Daniela says yes. Show says yes. Yes, Kobe. Kobe also says yes. So I think I'm here. All right. So as I told you guys the last time, please make sure you like the session while you join. So if you join, make sure you like, okay, so that the number of people on the feed will correspond to the number of likes. Okay. Now, as I said earlier on, so this session, this evening, we are going to just look into sample reflective questions. As I said, this is not the actual questions, but then it's to guide us on how we must expect what will come, God willing, tomorrow. And I'm very positive that if we are able to understand everything, trust me, we can do better. And even me, I have faith in you guys that you can do better. Because the last discussion we had to explain the slides and everything, I know the understanding came more clearer. So I know we can do better. So let's just zoom into it. So I'll turn the screen from me towards my laptop screen. That is where the questions are, because I did the questions on YouTube template. So that is how we're going to do it. Okay. So I'm just turning the camera, and the first part will be the MCQs, where I'll be reading questions. Then we would all respond to the questions. And as we normally do it in our previous discussion, where I'll read the questions, then you send me the answers via the chat session. So when you read the question, then let me know your answers at the chat session. I hope you all agree. Please, I hope we are all fine to that, right? Are you all clear with that? That when we read, as we normally do, you remember how we used to do it. So when we read the question, then you let me know your response or your answer to that question at the chat box or at the chat session. Okay. So I'm going to turn the screen towards my laptop, then we delve into it. Yes. So I had 50 MCQs here. Then I have about 30 short answers or so. Yes. I just did it to become very comprehensive, to cover all areas that I'm very sure we might get questions on. So that is why it is plenty, right? Okay. So please make sure you like the session while you join. Yes, make sure you like the session if you haven't liked the session. Okay, so I'm turning the screen towards my laptop. All right. So as we normally do, this is a lecture by lecture tutorial, but then this aspect is a reflective question and answers on Social Work Simplified. And we are going to look at some reflective questions on lifespan. Yes, on lifespan. So yeah, let's just zoom into the multiple choice question. So as you can see on the screen, section A is what? Multiple choice questions. And we have to choose between option A to D. Do you get it? So you read it yourself, or I read it out, then you choose the answer. Please, let's be quick, because I think there are plenty. There are about 50 questions, objectives. So let's be quick on that. Okay. All right. So let's go to question 1. Okay. So question 1 says that OBG, that's the objectives. So question 1 says that lifespan development is best described as. So option A is the study of physical growth during childhood only. B is the pattern of change that begins at conception and continues throughout life cycle. C is the study of psychological disorders in adults, and the D is the study of social relationship after adolescence. So please, if we had this, which one are you choosing? lifespan development is best described as? Please, which one are you choosing? Which option are you choosing? You can let me know at the chat session. So we go on. All right. So of course, there is only one answer to the question. Yes, there's only one answer to the question. All right. So Kofi says B. Daniela says B. Gideon says B. Puma says B. Seti. Hey, International City. Seti says B. Yes, Ella says B. All right. So it's very straightforward. So the answer to this is B. Yes. So lifespan, what is the pattern of change that begins at conception that continues through our lifestyle? So we are all correct. Yes, let's give it to ourselves. We've done well. All right. Question number 2. Okay, it says, which of the following is not identified as a characteristic of lifespan development in the slice? You know, in the slice, we had some characteristics of lifespan, of which there were 5, if you can remember. So what is the answer for question number 2? Question number 2 says are A, multidimensional, B, multidirectional, C, plastic, and D, unchanging. So the answer is what? D, because with the lifespan characteristics, there are 5. We have multidimensional, multidirectional, multidisciplinary, contextual, and plasticity. And here we don't have the contextual here, but we have changing. So unchanging is the odd one out here. So the answer is what? Is D. Okay, let's move on. Question number 3. He said the term plasticity in lifespan development refers to A, the inability of individuals to change. B, within person variability that is possible for a particular behavior or development. C, physical growth during adolescence. And D, the influence of genetics alone. So what do you think will be the answer for question number 3? Question number 3. All right. So Beauty says D. A. Okay, no. Ella says B. Derry says B. As I can see, Kofi also saying is B. Yes, Item says B. Gideon also says B. Yes, that's straightforward. So question number 3, the answer is what? Is B. Yes, we are doing very well. We are doing very well. Okay. Question number 4. It says the nature and nurture debate is concerned with. Yes, so patience, please. The answer for question number 3 is rather B, not D. Okay. All right. Thank you. So question number 4, the nature debate is concerned with. I hope you remember that under lifespan we have 2 major debates. We have stability versus change, and also nature versus nurture. So it says the options are A, childhood and adulthood, B, intelligence and personality, C, heredity factors, environmental factors, and D, physical and emotional development only. So the answer for question number 4 is C, because nature and nurture deals with what? Heredity factors and also environmental factors, where the nature has to do with what? The heredity factors, and nature has to do with the environmental factors. So question number 4 is C. All right. Question number 5. It says, according to the slides, contemporary understanding suggests that development is caused by. So according to the slides, question number 5. Question number 5. According to the slides, contemporary understanding suggests that development is concerned by A, heredity alone, B, environment alone, C, interaction between biological and environmental forces, and D, social interactions. So which one are we going for? Question number 5. Question number 5. Which one are we going for? Okay. So question number 5 too is what? Is C. Yes. Is C. Question number 5 is C. Yeah, is C. Yes. Question number 5 is C. Is C. So in this contemporary understanding, when we say development, we are looking at the interaction between the biological and also the environmental forces. So we are all correct. That is C. Okay. Question number 6. It said, which theory explains how different aspects of child development influence. Which theory explains how different aspects of child's environment influence development? So please. Yes. So I like that. So yes. So there is saying that please, if we are answering, we should add a number. Let's say question number 6, then your answer follows, so that it wouldn't be confusing. Because if we do it haphazardly, we wouldn't know if this answer belongs to this. Okay. So just answer in this way. Let's say question number 6, then the answer what follows. So let's say 6 dots, then the response follow. Yes, like how Kobe Item has done his. You see, he says question number 6, the answer is what? Is B. And the answer for question number 6 is B. Because if you look at theory, that explains how different aspects of child's environment influence their development. You know, there are several theories of lifespan, and this environmental aspect of development has to do with ecological system theory, which was propounded by Yuri Bronfenbrenner. Okay, so according to Yuri Bronfenbrenner, the systems in which the adolescent or the child finds himself, being it the microsystem, the mesosystem, and the macrosystem, they have the potential to influence the behavior of the adolescent or the infant. So that's very true. All right. Question number 7. According to Sigmund Freud, that is according to Freud, the part of personality associated with immediate gratification and instinctual urges is what? So number 7, which one are we going for? According to Sigmund Freud, the part of personality associated with immediate gratification and instinctual urges is what? Number 7, which one are we going for? Okay, so item says C, Poma says C, Donfe says C, Alasan also says C, Ella says C, yes, Frimsy also says C. All right, so question number 7, the answer to this question is what? Is C, is the id, because the id operates on pleasure principle, and because it operates on pleasure principle, it deals with instinct, and because it deals with instinct, it always demands immediate gratification to satisfy the id. That is why the answer is what? Is the id. So question number 7 is C. Great. Okay, question number 8. The superego, according to Sigmund Freud, develops as children. So A, learn to walk. B, internalize parent values and rules. C, develop peer relationship. And D, begin formal education. So what is the answer for question number 8? He said the superego, according to Sigmund Freud, develops as children. A, learn to walk. B, internalize parent values and rules. All right, so Kobe says it's B. Alazan says question number 8 is also B. Yes, Sapon also says question number 8 is also B. Okay, so who again? All right, Kofi says B. Donfe says B. All right, so question number 8, the answer is what? Is B. Because when we look at superego talks about what? The moral principle aspect of our personality. And with the moral principle, it deals with what? Rules and regulation, our values, our rules, and also the belief system of the environment. And that is what? The superego. So the answer is B. All right, we are doing well. All right, so how many stages are included in Erikson's psychosocial theory? I think this one we just watched it, right? So question number 9, how many stages are included in Erikson's psychosocial theory? Yes, please, let's hurry up on this one. Okay, so Donfet says number 9 is D. Kobe says is D. All right, Rita says is D. Hey, tactician, I hope you are fine. Rita says D. Hey, where is International and Rasta? Where are they? Where is Abeta? HOD. Okay, so question number 9, the answer is what? Is D. Yes, so according to Erik Erikson's psychosocial theory, we have 8 stages. 8 stages. All right, so it's D. Okay, question number 10. According to Erikson, the psychosocial crisis associated with the age 3 to 5 years is. So you see, now you know why it's very important to learn about all these 8 stages. Because if you don't know all the 8 stages, you wouldn't know what to choose. So question number 10, what is the answer? Question number 10. So with question number 10, what's the answer? So in simple terms, when we look at crisis associated with the age 3 to 5 years, that is what? That is initiative versus guilt. So question number 10 is C. So I can see all of you saying C. C. That's very great. All right. Question number 11. Okay, let me move it down so that we can see it well. All right. Question number 11. It says a child who develops independence and learn self-care skill is primarily experiencing, so this is just a simple question, that a child who develops independence and learn self-care skills is primarily experiencing A, autonomy versus shame, B, industry versus inferiority, and D, identity versus role confusion. So what answer are we going for? Question number 11. Question number 11. What answer are we going for? Question number 11. Question number 11. That a child who develops independence and learns self-care skill is primarily experiencing. Please, which one are we going for? Question number 11. Okay, so Sam says question number 11 is A. All right. So Dominic says A. Ella also says A. Gian says A. All right. Please, who again? Right now, I can see only 3 responses here. Yes, so I can see Dominic. I see you, my guy. Dominic, I hope you are fine. Yes, I can see Dominic. I can see Ella. I can see Gideon. Yes. Okay, so Donfe also says A. All right. So when we talk of independence and self-care, we are talking about autonomy versus shame. So question number 11, the answer is A. The answer is A. Okay, so you see, as we are doing this, indirectly, we are learning the slides. I hope you are getting what I'm trying to say. Yes, as we are learning this, indirectly, we are learning the slides. So that is very important to be on this session. All right. Okay, so I can see NS. Yes, I can see my boy NS. NS also says it's A. All right. Now, question number 12. It says Ericksonian. So Ericksonian simply means Erickson. Do you get it? But they want to just brothelize it. Do you get it? So Ericksonian stage associated with children aged approximately 5 to 12 years is what? So from age 5 to 12 years is what? So don't forget, these questions were developed directly from your slides. Okay, so these were from the slides. So now let's look at the age range according to what Doug gave us in the slides. Please, I hope you are listening. Yes, so the Ericksonian stage associated with children aged approximately 5 to 12 years is what? So question number 12, what's the answer? Question number 12. So from age 5 to 12 years. Okay, so Dominic says number 12 is B. Dominic says number 12 is B. Kofi says B. Yes, Beyond says B. Puma says B. Rita says B. Ella, Derry. All right, so I think we are all good. So number 12 is B. Yes, so B is what? Industry versus inferiority. So B. All right. Okay. Number 13. Question number 13. Number 13 says that which theory consists of the sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational stages? The answers are A, Freud's theory, Erickson's theory, Piaget's theory, Kohlberg's theory. So which theory consists of the sensory motor, pre-operational, concrete operational, and formal operational? Question number 13. Which one are we going for? Okay, so I can see Derry says C, Kofi says C, NS says C, Ella says C, Poma also says C. Okay, now it's very easy. So according to Jane Piaget, we have what? 4 stages. So it is what? It is Jane Piaget, which is C. Piaget. All right, Jane Piaget. All right. Question number 14. Let it come down. Become very simple. Okay. 14 says that Piaget labeled the age period of approximately 2 to 7 years as the. Then the answer follows. So according to Jane Piaget, he labeled the age period of approximately 2 to 7 years as the A, sensory motor stage, B, pre-operational stage, C, concrete operational stage, and D, formal operational stage. So number 14, which one are we going for? Okay, Derry says B, Patience say B, Dominic says, okay, no, Dominic, you're only 13. All right. Alassane says B, Kofi says B. All right. So according to Jane Piaget, the age approximately from 2 to 7 years is what? The pre-operational stage. So number 14 is B. Number 14 is B. 14 is B. Okay. Number 15. Number 15. Which of the following is an example of a gross motor skill? Don't forget, when we were learning about pregnancy, we learn about motor skills, and I explained to you guys that we have two main motor skills. We have the fine motor skills and the gross motor skill. Now I've already explained, so I won't explain it here again. Now when we say gross motor skill, it says which of the following is an example of a gross motor skill? A. Holding a pencil. B. Using scissors. C. Crawling. And D. Picking up a small object between the fingers. So what is the answer? Okay, Joseph says C. Ella says C. Rita says C. All right, Seti says C. Gideon also says C. So when we talk of gross motor skill, it's when it's an activity that requires the use of what? Stronger muscles. And crawling requires the use of what? A stronger muscle. So gross motor skill, the example here is what? Or the right answer here is crawling. So 15 is C. All right, question number 16. Question number 16. It says, which of the following is an example of a fine motor skill? Fine motor skill. A. Running. B. Jumping. C. Crawling. D. Using a pencil. So number 16, which one are we going for? Number 16. A fine motor skill. Running, jumping, crawling, using a pencil. Okay, so Seti says D, and that's very true. Rita says D. Or Rita hasn't said anything. Yeah. Wait, that is D. Okay. Or wait, which one are you saying? Okay, so Hannah also says D. Noah also says D. Dominic says D. Yes. So when we say fine motor skills, they are activities that require the use of what? Smaller muscles. And you know, using a pencil don't require any big muscle to what? To use a pencil. So 16 is what? Is D. All right. Number 17. 17 says that according to the slides, you know, we are referring to the slide. So according to the slides, Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory includes all the following except. So according to the slides, according to the slides, Bronfenbrenner's, that's Yuri Bronfenbrenner, ecological system theory includes all the following except A. Microsystem, B. Mesosystem, C. Macro system, and D. Psychosexual system. So which one are we going for? Question number 17. Let me even make it come down so that we see it well. Let me make it come down. Okay. So that it will be very simple. Yes, you see now here we can see it very well here. Okay, according to the slides, Yuri Bronfenbrenner's ecological system theory includes all the following except A. Microsystem, meso, macro, psychosocial. So okay, Seti says D, Howard says D, Mickey says D, Ella says D, who again? Okay, Puma says D, NS says D. Okay. So we don't have psychosocial system. It's not part. I don't even know why they added that. Okay. Now let's come to question number 18. Question number 18 says that a warm, intimate, and continuous relationship with the mother is associated with, listen to it again, a warm, intimate, and continuous relationship with the mother is associated with A. Poor academic performance, B. Better later personality development, C. Increased aggression, D. Social withdrawal. A warm, intimate, and continuous relationship with the mother is associated with, what is the answer for question number 18? Question number 18. What are the response? 18. Question number 18. Number 18. Okay, so Ella says B. Okay, I think those, please, we've already passed 17. Okay, how I saw your 17 answer. Yeah, we are on 18. All right. So Tatian also says B. Yes. Joseph also says B. All right. So number 18, whenever we have a warm, intimate, and continuous relationship with the mother, if the infant has that with the mother, it results in a better personality development. So 18 is B. 18 is B. Okay. 19. He says, which of the following is associated with attachment problems? Which of the following is associated with attachment problems? You understand attachment problems, okay? All right. So please, as you join, make sure you like the session. If you join, make sure you like. All right. Number 19. It says, which of the following is associated with attachment? A. Strong preference for one caregiver. B, increase self-knowledge. C, seeking attention from strangers. And D, better school performance. Number 19, what's the answer? Number 19. Okay, I think Kofi says C. Please let's add the question number, because some of the response comes late. So if you don't add the question number, it will confuse me. Okay, so Joseph, yes, Joseph says 18. Joseph, I think we first 18. Yes, we are on question 19. Yes, so the 8. Yes, so Hannah says C. Seti says C. Dominic says C. Yes, so beyond the stigma also says 19 is B. All right. Kobe item says C. Patient says also C. So number 19, it says which of the following is associated with attachment problems? So the best answer for question number 19 is C. So when a child has an attachment problem, they seek attention from strangers. Anybody who open their arms, the child want to go to that person. So that child is suffering from an attachment problems. Okay. All right. Number 20. It says failure to thrive. Failure to thrive technically occurs when a child's weight. So this one is in the slide. You get it? It's in the slide. That failure to thrive technically occurs when a child's weight A falls below the 10th percentile, B falls below the 8th or the 5th percentile for age, C is above the 5th percentile, and D remains unchanged for 1 month. So question number 20, what is the answer? You see this one, maybe most of us, our eyes will pass on when we are reading the slides. Yes, but then it was straight in this one was taken straight from the slides. Failure to thrive technically occurs when the child's weight. So what's the answer for question number 20? Number 20. I'm still waiting. This one, I think the response is not coming. 20. Okay, so Kofi says B. Ella says B. Helena says B. Gloria, I hope you are fine. Gloria says B. Patient says B. Okay, that's fine. So question number 20, the answer is what? Is B. Because, so please, this one, make sure you, if you don't know, if this is your first time seeing it, make sure you really understand. So failure to thrive technically occurs when the child weight falls below the 5th percentile. Please don't forget. And it's below, not above. They get it well. So when it falls below the 5th percentile, don't forget this one. Okay. Now question number 21. Okay, now I think we are entering adolescence. So adolescence is derived from the Latin word adolescere, meaning, so I read again, adolescence is derived from the Latin word adolescere, meaning A, to mature, B, to grow up, C, to become independent, D, to develop. I think this question is very, very tricky. Adolescence is derived from the Latin word adolescere, meaning A, to mature, to grow up, to become independent, to develop. So question number 21, which one are we choosing? Okay, so Puma says B, Helena says B, Ella says B. Okay, please, I'm waiting for the rest. So you two, which one are you going for? Okay, international statistician says B. NSASB, dairy. Okay, so that is it. So adolescent simply means to grow up. Don't forget, to grow up. So the answer is what? Is B, to grow up. Adolescent means to grow up. Okay. Now 22. According to the slides, adolescence broadly extend from A, 5 to 12 years, B, 8 to 15 years, C, 12 to 19 years, D, 18 to 30 years. So according to the slides, adolescence broadly extends from, which one are you choosing? 22. Which one are you choosing? 5 to 12 years, 8 to 15 years, 12 to 19, D, 18 to 30. Question number 22. Which one are we picking? Question number 22. 22. Which one are we picking? 22. Okay. So Kobe says 22 is C. Yes. Isa says C. Gloria says C. So I think it's what, 12 to 19. That's very true. So 22 is C. Okay. 23. 23 says that which feature is most prominent during early adolescence? Now we are entering, we have 3 stages of adolescence. Do you get it? We have early, we have middle, and late. So which feature is most prominent during early adolescence? So A, familial independence. B, personal identity consolidation. C, physical changes and peer approval. D, greater emotional stability. So which answer are we taking for question number 23? Which feature is most prominent during adolescence? Familial independence, personal identity consolidation, physical changes and peer approval, and D, greater emotional stability. All right. So question number 23, as we've all said, is what? Is C, because at the early adolescent stage, we start from 12 to 14 years, and that is where you experience some physical changes and also peer approval. So question number 23 is what? Is C. 23 is C. Okay. Now question number 24. It says, according to Marcia, an adolescent who is actively exploring alternative but has not yet made a committed is in. Now I think this slide, I don't know if I will need to explain further maybe on the page for you to understand. Yes, I think this part is that according to Marcia, an adolescent who is actively exploring alternatives but has not yet made a commitment is in A, foreclosure, B, diffusion, C, moratorium, and D, achievement. So what is the answer for question number 24? This one, if you read the slides, it is there, like very, very simple. It's straight away. So 24 is what? Is moratorium. So that is the answer for question number 24. So 24 is C. Yes. So moratorium. Yes. Question number 25. It says that an adolescent who has made commitment without experiencing an identity crisis is described by Marcia as being in. An adolescent who has made commitment without experiencing an identity crisis is described by Marcia as being in A, diffusion, B, foreclosure, C, moratorium, D, achievement. So question number 25, what's the answer? 25. This one too is directly from the slides. Very direct from the slides. Okay, so the answer for question number 25 is B. That is foreclosure. Is straight from the slides. B. 25 is B. Okay. 26. It says that, okay, Gideon, 25 is rather B. Yes, it's rather B. Okay. 26. Which of the following best describes identity achievement? So we are still at the same part. Which of the following best describes identity achievement? A, no commitment and no exploration. B, commitment without experiencing a crisis. C, exploration without commitment. And D, experiencing an identity crisis and making commitment. So question number 26 is what? Question number 26. Okay, so Kofi says D. Beyond the Stigma says D. Donfe says D. Ella says D. Okay, so Puma says D. Someone says A, Gideon. Clinton, go away. Okay, so question number 26 is what? Is D. Question number 26 is D. Question number 26 is D. Okay. Question number 27. It says that which of the following is an example of an internalizing disorder mentioned in the slides? Which of the following is an example of an internalizing disorder mentioned in the slides? So A, delinquency, B, conduct disorder, C, depression, D, aggression. Question number 27, which one are we going for? 27, Kofi says C. Okay, Mickey says C. Donfe says C. Puma says C. D, Stigma says C. Derry says C. So the answer is what? Depression. When we say internalizing disorder, they are disorders that are expressed inward. So depression is inward. So the answer is C. Okay. Hey, where is Rasta? Rasta, are you here? Hey. Okay. Question number 28. According to the slides, Carol Gilligan criticized Colbeck's theory because it's dot dot dot. So dash dash dash. According to the slides, Carol Gilligan criticized Colbeck's theory because it's A. Ignored cognitive development, B. Ignored the gender dimension and care perspective, C. Focused too much on environmental influences, D. Rejected social interaction. So 28, which one are we going for? So if you read the slides, I think Doug even make this explanation in class that Carol Gilligan criticized Colbeck's theory because according to Gilligan, the aspect of gender was ignored by Carol Gilligan. So that was where she also used that aspect as a gap to introduce his theory. Do you get it? So according to Carol Gilligan, he criticized Colbeck's theory because she believed that Colbeck's theory ignored the aspect of gender. So the answer for 28 is what? It's B. Okay. 29. Hospice. Hospice care is particularly relevant for people who A. have less than 6 months life expectancy, B. are entering adolescence, C. have recently started school, and D. have minor childhood illness. So 29, which one are we going for? Hospice. I know we know hospice. So hospice care is particularly relevant for people who A. have less than 6 months life expectancy, B. are entering adolescence, C. have recently started school, and D. have minor childhood illness. So 29, yes, as A, I see my Danny. I see Billy here. Billy says A. Yes, so the answer is A. Yes, I see Billy. Billy, shout out to you. Shout out to Billy. Okay. Question number 30. So question number 29 is A. Hospice, that is A. Alright. Yeah, Gloria says A, Joseph says A, Seti says A, Jerry says A, Ella says A. Okay. Question number 13. Which of the following is an implication of end-of-life care for social work? You remember the last slide we did before we closed the class for the last meeting for the semester, we treated end of life. And we explained that at the end of life stage, social workers has critical role that we play there. So what is the answer? A says that avoiding discussion about death, B, withholding information from clients, C, promoting options for care and spiritual support, and D, encouraging clients to remain isolated. So what is the answer for question number 30? That's end of life care. So NS says C, Ella says C, Howard says, okay, our your answer is 28. Okay, Gloria says 30 is C. So please, as they said, add the number, add the number, because if you just write it, we wouldn't know your B or your C belongs to this particular question. Okay, yes. So yes, Isa says C. Yes, so as Isa has done his, so Isa says 30 is C. You see this one? If you are reading, you know that this is what Isa is referring to. Please, I hope we are fine. Yes, yes. So Gloria says 30. Yes, the same thing. Okay, so that is it. So the answer for question number 30 is C. So with end of life care, what we do is that we provide options for care and spiritual support. So question number 30 is C. Question number 30 is C. So 30 is C. 30 is C. Now 31. 31. It says, which of the following is one of the major developmental tasks of young adulthood? Don't forget, when I was explaining young adulthood to you guys, I told you that at young adulthood we have two main developmental tasks there. We have two main developmental tasks under young adulthood. Yes, and the first one was what? Economic independence. That was the first one. And the second one was what? Independence in decision making. Okay, so the answer for question number 31 is B. So 31 is B. 31 is B. Don't forget, 31 is B. This one I remember I explained. Okay, someone says 31 is A. Okay, so 31, 31 is B. So when we talk of young adulthood, you see, hey, Derek, you say learning to work. Hey, Charlie, I will lash you. Young adulthood is not young childhood. Please look at it well. It's young adulthood. Learning to work. Hey, Derek, you need lashes. Learning to work there. Young adulthood there. So young adulthood is from 18 to 40 years. Oh, okay. There he has come again. That was a mistake. Yes, because you there, I know say you wouldn't say that. Okay, so 31 is what? Is B, economic independence. Economic independence. Okay. Question number 32. It says independent decision making. Independent decision making in young adulthood primarily refers to the ability to A, depend entirely on patients, B, make choices for oneself, C, avoid social relationship, and D, reject employment. Independent decision making is what? 32. What's the answer? Okay, so Joseph says B, NS says B. Okay, NS says B. Please, the rest. Okay. So Puma says B. Puma, please. The B is for which one? Is it 31 or 32? Okay. Artisan, where are you? Okay. Yes, Billy says B. Derry says B. Yes. Hero says B. Okay. So 32 is what? Is B. So independent decision making in young childhood primarily refers to the ability to what? Make choices for oneself. So 32 is B. Okay. Now 33. This 33, I know you know it. I think I explained the last time. According to Levinson's theory, young adults focus on choices involving A, school, religion, childhood, B, love, occupation and friendship, C, retirement, illness and death, D, parenting, aging, dependency. So Rasta, statistician, what's the answer for question number 33? According to Levinson's theory, young adults focus on choices involving, what answer are we choosing? Okay, so Billy says 33 is B. So love, occupation and friendship. Okay. Yes, I think we are doing well. So 33 is what? Is B. Yes, it's B. All right. It's B. Okay. 34. It says the major psychological tax in young adulthood identified in the slide is. So in the slide, the major psychological tax in young adulthood is what? This one, I think I also explained it in our last meeting, that under young adulthood, the main psychological tax under young adulthood is what? I think I said the last time. So the main psychological task is what? Is intimacy. I told you guys, because at that stage they are exploring, they want to be in an intimate relationship. Charlie, this paper there, I'm very confident that you guys will do well. Okay, I have that faith. You will do well. Okay. All right. Question number 35. It says intimacy refers to A, the ability to interact with others, B, the ability to share one's true self with others, C, avoiding relationship, and D, living independently from society. So what is the answer for intimacy? When we say intimacy, what is intimacy? So there, your answer is 34. Okay, 34 is great. There you are correct. All right. So please, I'm saying that don't just write, let's say B and C. If you write that one, like nobody will know what you are referring to. Okay, so let's add the numbers to it. Okay, so Puma says 35 is B. Yeah, so do it that way. Hero says 35 is B. Isa says 35 is B. Billy says 35 is B. Yes, that's great. So when we say intimacy, it refers to the ability to share one true self with others. So intimacy is what? Is B. Is B. All right. Question number 36. It says isolation. Isolation is best described as A, a subjective feeling, B, the inability to share intimately with others, C, having many friendships, and D, spending time with family. So when we say isolation, what is isolation? Question number 36. 36 is what? 36. Okay, Hero says 36 is B. NS says 36 is B. Mickey says 36 is B. Ella says 36 is A. Okay, Billy says 36 is B. Ella says, hey, Ella, you are giving us two answers. So Ella says 36 is B. Ella, please, which is wait, please, I beg, come again. Okay, now, so the correct answer for this one is B. Okay, now let me explain something more about this place for you. Now, you see, when we learn about young adulthood, we said that the crisis at young adulthood is called what? Arrested adulthood. And under arrested adulthood, it has two main implications. So arrested adulthood can result in in one, isolation, and B, loneliness. But then when we say isolation, is the inability to share intimately with others. That is isolation. And when we say loneliness, loneliness is what? It's a subjective feeling. So please, you see the option A. The option A goes for loneliness. So when someone is having a subjective feeling, that person is feeling loneliness. But then your inability to share intimately with others is what? Is isolation. So question number 36 is B. All right, 37. 37 says that homophobia is defined in the slides as. So when we say homophobia, it is defined in the slides as a positive attitude towards gay people, B, an irrationally negative attitude towards gay people, C, the fear of social interaction, and D, fear of employment. So when we say homophobia, what is homophobia according to the slides? Okay, someone says an irrationally negative attitude towards gay people. So that is Ernest. Alasan also says B. Percy says B. Patience says B. Puma says B. So the answer for question number 37 is B. So when we say homophobia, it's an irrationally negative attitude towards gay people. So number 37 is what? Is B. Okay. Now question number 38. It says middle adulthood is also referred to as. This one I remember I hammered on it for so long. Question number 38. Middle adulthood is also called emerging adulthood, midlife, late adulthood, early adulthood. So what is another name for middle adulthood? Question number 38. Ernest says B. I'm waiting for the rest of your responses. All right, please, if you haven't liked the session, make sure you like the session. Okay. All right. Thomas says B. Yes. Christabel says B. Mickey says B. So that's the answer. Okay, Young Hero also says B. So when we say middle adulthood, it is also refers to what? Midlife. So midlife is the same as what? Middle adulthood. And now let me try to say something small about midlife. Now when we say midlife, we are saying that it is the stage of what? It's the stage where the adult is trying to know more about themselves and also about their world. So midlife is a period of self-reflection. It's a period where the young adult or the middle adult try to reflect what they did in their early childhood. So what you did in your adolescent stage. Are you okay? So midlife is a period of self-reflection. Don't forget. Midlife is a period of self-reflection. Don't forget. All right. So the question number 38 is what? Is B, midlife. Okay. 39. He says, according to the slides, middle childhood approximately occurred between A, 20 to 30 years, B, 30 to 40 years, C, 40 to 60 years, and D, 60 to 80 years. So according to the slides, middle childhood approximately occurred between Ella says C, Young Hero says C, Hannah says C. Yes. So when we say midlife, it starts from what? Or middle adulthood, and it's the same as midlife. When we say midlife, it starts from what? From 40 to 60 years. So the answer is C. Great. You're doing well. All right. Now 40. Which biological change is associated with middle adulthood in women? So which biological change is associated with middle adulthood in women? So you see, when we come to middle adulthood, we have biological changes or some hazards that occurs with men and women. So A, puberty, B, menopause, C, infancy, D, growth spurts. So 40 biological change is associated with middle adulthood in women. Okay, so Mickey 40 is B, Susan says B, Danny says, Billy says B, Mickey says B. Yes, that's great. So according to the slides, the biological change that is associated with middle adult women is what? Is menopause. That is B. So menopause, that is B. Okay, menopause. Now question number 41. Number 41 says that according to the slides, women tend to be more dash communication style. Now, under middle adulthood to late adulthood, we talk about what? The communication styles that both men and women they demonstrate. So with the communication style, we are saying that women has a way they express themselves, or they have a way that they communicate, and also men also has a way that they communicate. So when we are looking at communication styles, according to the slides, women tend to be tend to use a more so women tend to use more expressive communication style. So the answer is B. And the expressive here simply means that they try to express their feelings, they try to express their emotions and even their care for other people. So women are more expressive because they want to express their feelings, they want to express their emotions and even how they feel about someone. Okay, so 41 is B. Please, this area is very, very important. The communication style, women has a way they communicate and men also has a way they communicate around middle adulthood. So don't forget. So the answer is B. Now question number 42. It says men as are described in the slides as tending to use an dash communication style. So while women are using expressive communication style at that middle adulthood stage going, now men also tend to use what we call, so what is that? So A is expressive, B emotional, C instrumental, and D passive. So as women are more expressive in nature, men tend to be more instrumental. And when we say instrumental, it simply means that they always want to focus on their goals and how they can provide solutions to problems. So men are more instrumental because they want to provide some solutions to problems. So the answer is C. So please don't forget, when it comes to communication, women are more expressive and men are more instrumental. Don't forget. Okay, 43. It says midlife crisis is often described as a period of A, physical growth, B, self-reflection and emotional turbulence, C, childhood dependency, and D, language development. 43. So the answer, Mickey says B, Framesy says B, NS says B, Puma says 43 is also B. Yes, what are you also saying? Tell us what you're also saying. Okay, Derry says 43 is B. 2 more to go. Yes, Isa says B. 1 more to go. Then I continue. 1 more. Who is coming? Tactician, whatever. Where is the tactician? Who is coming? Yes, so Alaza has come. So Isaku says 43 is B. So the answer for question number 43 is what? Is B. So at the midlife crisis stage, the young adults tend to do more self-reflection and they will always have emotional turbulence. So the answer is what? Is B. All right. Question number 44. Let me even break it down so we can read it at once. Question number 44. It says, which of the following is associated with the late adulthood? So which of the following is associated with late adulthood? A, increased physical growth. B, physiological aging and chronic diseases. C, development of intimacy. And D, puberty. So which of the following is associated with late adulthood? Which of the following is associated with late adulthood? So please, which one are we going for? 44. So you see, late adulthood start from 65 plus. So 65 will die. So at that stage, it is characterized by what? By physiological aging and chronic diseases. So the answer 44 is what? Is B. Okay, Isa says B, Seti says B, Percy says B, Crystal says B, Isaku says B, and Kobe says B. So the answer for is what? Is B. Great, we are doing well. We are doing well. All right. 45. 45. The expected maximum human lifespan presented in the slides is the expected maximum human lifespan presented in the slide is. So what is the answer? A 80 years, B 90 years, C 100 years, and D 120 years. Which one are we going for? 45. Okay, Seti says D, NS says D, Mickey says D, Poma says D, Isa says D, Ella says D. Yes. So according to the slides, the maximum or the expected maximum human lifespan is what? 120 years. So that is D. Don't forget. Is D. Okay. Question number 46. 46. Which of the following has contributed to increased life expectancy? Which of the following has contributed to increased life expectancy? A. Poor nutrition. B. Technological advances. C. Reduced medical competency. D. Unhealthy lifestyle. So which of the following has contributed to increased life expectancy? Question number 46. Okay, item says B, Ella says B, NS says B, Isa says B, Poma says B, Mickey says B, Kofi says B. So the answer for question number 26 is what? Is B. So technological advancements or advances has come to increase what we call life expectancy. The answer is B. Okay. Question number 47. 47. I think this one we will know it because I think it has come before. But it's good. Yeah. Okay. 47. It says hospice care is particularly appropriate for people who A. are beginning school, B. have less than 6 months of life expectancy, C. are entering adolescence, and D. are unemployed. So who are who are right? Who the comment is really funny. Okay, so which category of people are being sent to hospice? So question number 47 is what? Okay, so Kofi says B. Where's my Billy? Where is Billy? Okay, Joseph says D. 45. Okay, 45. Okay, we found it. Okay, yes, Billy says 47 is B. All right, so Billy is here. Okay, so but the person who is asking for Billy is here. Okay, so Malik says 47 is B. Yes, it's B. So those who are sent to hospice, they what? They are those that have less than 6 months life expectancy. That is B. Very true. Okay. Now question number 48. 48 says that which of the following is an important component of end of life care? Which of the following is an important component of end of life care? A. Withholding information. B. Adequate pain management. C. Preventing family involvement. And D. Ignoring spiritual needs. For 48 is what, please? 48 is what? 48. Which of the following is an important component of end of life care? So, okay, Kofi says B, Mickey B, Patience B, Persis B, Malik says 48 is C, Kobe item says B, Ella says B. Okay, it says which of the following is an important component of end of life care? So Malik, the answer here is B. So with end of life, it is there to help manage what? Pain. So adequate pain management. So the answer for 48 is B. Malik, so it's B. Okay, it's B. Okay. 49. Which of the following is an implication of end of life care for social work? Which of the following is an implication of end of life care for social work? Okay, so A says providing spiritual support. B. Preventing clients from making decisions. C. Avoiding discussion about death. And D. Withholding care options. 49 is what? 49 is what? 49. So Mickey says A. NS says A. That says A. 49. Percy says A. Framesy says A. Right. So the answer for question number 49. Malik, you say D. Please, 49 is A, not D. Okay. Which of the following is an implication of end of life care? So end of life is providing spiritual support. So 49 is A. Okay. So 49 is not D, it's A. Okay, Billy says A. Billy says A. Yes. Shout out to my mind, Billy. Okay. Question number 50. Question number 50. Okay, it says young adulthood is described in a slide as a period of A. Retirement and dependency, B. Transition and emerging adulthood, C. Childhood dependency, and D. Physical decline. So according to the slides, when we say young adulthood, what are we referring to? Okay, yeah, I see. Shout out to Billy. Okay, so for young adulthood is described in the slide as a period of A. Retirement and dependency, B. Transition and emerging adulthood, and C. Childhood dependency, D. Physical decline. Okay, so Percy says B, Prince says B, NS says B, Kobe Item says B, Isaku says B. Okay. All right, so question number 50 is what? Is B. So young adulthood is described as what? As a transition and emerging adulthood. So please, this brings us to the end of the OBG. So as I said, I generated 50 OBJ questions on the slides, and I know, as I said, what we are doing here is just a reflective question. So it is just opening our minds and also our ideas about the slides, and even going through even this OBJ is a way of learning. I know, like, we are learning because even the question itself is the slides. So going through these reflective OBJ questions is a way, like in another way, we are learning the slides. Please, I hope you all agree with me, right? Okay, so this is the end of the OBG. As I said, Doc says that yes, Billy is signing. Yes, Billy is signing. Benedict, go away. All right. So as Doc says that we will have 25 objective questions, but then I intentionally made it 50 here, so that at least if you go through the 50, you know, definitely there will be some similar patterns in the 25 that will come, and it will help you to grasp it. Okay. All right. Yes. So Patience says 50 is B. That's very true. All right. So please, if you join, make sure you like the session. Okay. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe as well. All right. Now we are done. We are moving on to session B. That is short answer questions. And this part, I want you to pay critical attention to this part, because this part really matters. Okay, this part really. So please, I have a question on the characteristics of perspective. Okay, Anna, please, you can type the question, then I'll answer it here. Okay, Anna, please, you can type the question, then I'll answer it here. I'm waiting for the question. Okay, I'm waiting for the question. So you can type at the comment section, then I'll read and answer it. So we are waiting for our next question. But as I said, we are going to the next section. That is the session B, which is on short answer questions. And this one, you know, I actually wanted to make it very easy for you guys. So I just place the question and the answers there. So but then I'm going to throw more light on the answer I placed there. Do you get it? Yes. So I didn't make it maybe before, like how we used to do, where maybe you guess the answer before I come in. I wanted to make it very simple for you guys. So every short answer question has its corresponding answers, but then to facilitate your understanding, I'll throw more light on the answer I gave there, and even give example to help facilitate your understanding on the questions. Okay. All right. So we are waiting for Hannah. She says she has a question on the characteristics of lifespan perspective. And don't forget, even before she comes, she says the question is on what? On the characteristics of lifespan perspective. And we know that the characteristics are what? They are 5. We have development is what? It's multi-directional. Development is multidisciplinary. Development is what? It's multi-directional, multidisciplinary. We have development is plastic. We have development is contextual. He said Okay, the question is here. It said the multidirectional, are they under perspective or characteristics? Great question. So the perspective and the characteristics, Hannah, they are all the same. Yes, they are all the same. So sometimes, maybe in the question, in your end of your mid semester, she asks you that question that states to perspective of lifespan is the same as the characteristics of lifespan. So that one it can be perspective and it can also be characteristics. They are all the same. So any way she put it, the answers remain the same. The answers remain multidimensional, multidirectional, multidisciplinary, plasticity, and contextual. So whether the question comes in, let's say, state 2 characteristics of lifespan, state 2 characteristics of lifespan, or state 2 perspective of lifespan, we are giving the same answer. Okay, so Malik is saying that, but in the midterm she asked, oh yes, in the midterm she asked you guys, but then she didn't say characteristics, she used perspective, and is the same as the characteristics. Do you get it? Yes. So we should just be clear on that. We should just be clear on that. Okay, now let's move on to our short answer question. So please, this side, I want you to pay critical attention here at the short answers. As I said, I made it very, very easy. Please, what's the concern issues? Please, what concerns? Please, what is the concern issues of lifespan development? Okay, so Gideon. Okay, so Gideon, when you come to the some of the issues in lifespan development, in your midterm, I think another question came. I've forgotten the question. He says, I've forgotten the question. But then that one, I think most of you didn't get the answer. You didn't get the answer for that particular question. So you see, if I remember, I'll send it to your page. I'll send it to your page. Okay. Yes. It is. Please, what's the difference between characteristics of lifespan development and beliefs of the lifespan approach? Okay. So we know we have characteristics of lifespan, and that is the multidirectional, multidisciplinary, and the rest. Are you okay? He says, and the beliefs of lifespan approach. Okay, so lifespan has several beliefs. You get it? And the beliefs is under the characteristics. You get it? So the beliefs, we can talk of the multidirectional, it has its own beliefs. We can talk of even these two main debates of nature and nature. Do you get it? So it depends on how you understand it, but then I'll make it very simple after the session on your client, the page that you have or you have created. Okay, he said, but in the slides I saw stability versus change. Yes, so Malik, the stability versus change and the nature versus nature, they are the contemporary issues of lifespan, or there are two main debates of lifespan. Do you get it? When it comes to lifespan, we have two main debates, and the first one is stability versus change. The second one is nature versus nature. They are debates in lifespan. Do you get it? And there are some contemporary issues that has been raised in lifespan, but then it has nothing to do with what they are asking. Do you get it? Yes. So I'll throw more light on that. I've written them down, so take note of that. So I'll do that after the session. Okay, please, I hope we are fine. Can we proceed now? Please? Please, are you fine? Can I proceed? Let me know your response. Okay. I'm waiting for your response at the chat session, so I will know you are okay. Then I proceed. Okay, so NS says yes, I can proceed. Okay, I want two more to respond so that I can proceed. Okay, Malik, yes. Malik, thanks for understanding. Okay, my namesake. All right. Okay, now let's proceed. Okay. So, short answer questions. So, the first short answer says that state the two major developmental tasks of young adulthood. And as I said, I wanted to make it very simple for us, so I gave answer for each short answer question to make it very, very easy. Now, he said state the two major developmental tasks of young adulthood. And under young adulthood, the two major developmental tasks are: 1, economic independence, and 2, independent decision making. So from the age of 18 to 40, the young adult would make economic independence. So that is where they find employment, they find work to do to earn a living to be able to provide or to be able to meet their basic needs. So the first developmental task under young adulthood is what is economic independence, where they try to find occupation or employment to do to be able to earn a living to support their needs. So that is the first one. The second developmental task is what is independent decision making. So at this stage they try to make independent decision by making their own life choices. Are you okay? So here they can make a choice to marry, they can make a choice to even maybe they can say that okay, I don't want to marry but I want to give birth. That is the choice that they want to make. Are you okay? So the two main developmental tasks here under young adulthood is economic independence and independent decision making. All right. Now question number 2. It says 3 areas of choice identified by Levinson's theory of young adulthood. So according to Levinson, the 3 areas of choice are, I told you guys when we met the last time. So according to Levinson, they are what? I hope you know them. So love, occupation, and friendship. So according to Levinson, there are 3 areas of choice under young adulthood is love, occupation, and friendship. Don't forget. Okay, don't forget. Okay, question number 3, that's the short answer. Define intimacy. Define intimacy. So intimacy is the ability to share one's true self with others. Simple as that. So intimacy is the ability to share one's true self with others. That is intimacy. So your ability to share your true self with others is intimacy. Very simple as that. Very, very simple. Okay. Now, question number 4. It says, state 2 activities involved in developing intimacy. Now, when someone is developing intimacy, what 2 activities would the person do when the person is trying to develop intimacy? Now, let's say you've seen someone and you want to develop intimacy for that person. What activities occurs? So 1, in trying to develop intimacy, we take risks because you don't know the guy really well. But then because they used to say, because you've fallen for the person, you just take risks to be with the person. Are you okay? So that is 1, taking a risk. 2, sharing things about yourself. Are you okay? Like meeting someone for the first time and you like the person. You'll be sharing and even oversharing some things that you shouldn't even share with the person. Do you get it? And the third one is being open to another person's judgment about what is shared. So I've given you 3. Choose any 2 of your choice to answer state 2 activities involved in developing intimacy. All right, I've given you 3, so choose any 2 of your choice. Okay. Now, question number 5. It says, what is arrested adulthood? What is arrested adulthood? And I think you remember I mentioned that one when we met in the in-person tutorial. When we say arrested adult, we are saying that it refers to a situation in which the adult experiences a changing nature of identity. It refers to a situation in which the adult experiences a changing nature of identity and may experience issues related to isolation and loneliness. I think I explained this one, so you understand. So when we say arrested adulthood, is a crisis experience at the young adulthood. Are you okay? That's a crisis experience there. And when someone experiences arrested adulthood, that person, let's say, has a stop in their growth. Like you are growing and like all of a sudden there's a sudden stop or pause in your growth. And at that stage, so I even give this example. Imagine you are a lady, you are 25 years, and you have your peers, you are all 25 years. Now, when you go to 26, one of your mates marries. Now you left with the 2 of you, but you are still in touch. You still get in touch with each other. Now you go to 27 years, then the other person also marry. Now he left with you. So if sometimes they will be like, oh, today we want to go out, and if they are going out, everybody's coming with their husbands, and even maybe they have a young kid or infant. Now this stage, if they even call you to come so that you go for maybe an outing, you won't go, because at that stage your life is arrested, because it feel like your life is falling apart. You feel like you are not getting what you should get. You feel like what you should do at that stage, everybody is, it's going on well with everybody, but for you things are retrogressing. Do you get it? So you are in what we call arrested adulthood, and the implications of arrested adulthood is what? Isolation and loneliness. So anybody who is in arrested adulthood, they are always experiencing isolation and loneliness. So your friend will call you, oh Akosia, come and let's go out. Then you'll be like, oh, I have something to do. But inwardly you have nothing to do, because when you go and you see them with their husbands, you feel something. So because of that thing, you will tell them that you will not what? Go, because you have something to do. So the implications of arrested adulthood is isolation and loneliness. Question number 6. It said differentiate between isolation and loneliness. Differentiate between isolation and loneliness, and I've given you this simple differentiation. So when we say isolation, is the inability to share intimately with others. Now let me use that same example. Now your friends, they've all married. Do you get it? And now you can't even go to your friends again. And if you can't go to your friends again, it simply means that you cannot share some of the things that you used to share with them. You can't share it with them anymore or any longer. Why can't you share? Because now you guys are no longer together. Everybody has married and they are all living independently. So it's like the left with only you. So you feel like you cannot share intimately with them. So isolation is the inability to share intimately with others. But when we say loneliness, loneliness is a subjective feeling. Listen, loneliness is a subjective feeling, and it is associated with having fewer or inadequate desire interpersonal relationship. Now loneliness is not the same as isolation. Some people sometimes they confuse themselves. When someone is isolated, it's not the same as loneliness, because if someone is lonely, it is a subjective feeling. Now let me give you this example. You know, sometimes your friends, maybe you are ladies, you will see the person in the morning and the person will not talk to you. You'll be like, is this person okay? They will not talk to you. But then in the evening, this person will call you and will be talking to you. Why? At that moment, it was what? It was a subjective feeling in the morning. So in the morning, they felt like, no, they don't want to come to you. Are you okay? But in the evening, they will feel okay. Then they will be willing to approach you. Do you get it? So that's the difference between isolation and loneliness. So isolation is the inability to share intimately with others. But then loneliness is more of a subjective feeling. You know, when someone is lonely, you know, when someone is isolated for about 2 or 1 years, or from let's say 1 year or 2 years going, you will not even hear from them when they are isolated. But then when someone is going through loneliness, maybe it's something that is very temporal. So maybe in the morning they will see you, they will not talk to you, but in the evening they will call you and talk to you. It means they are lonely. So loneliness is a subjective feeling. Please don't forget. Loneliness is a subjective feeling. Don't forget, please. Okay. Question number 7. It says state 2 consequences of joblessness among young adults. State 2 consequences of joblessness among young adults. Don't forget, under young adult state, that is where Levinson came with a theory which were describing love, occupation, and friendship. Now, if someone is not having occupation at that young adult stage, imagine you are, let's say, 27, you are 29, 30, 35, and you don't have anything to do. You don't have anything to do to bring you income. Now, you see, if you are going through these issues of joblessness, it will create several things. One is anger. Like when someone even talk to you, then you want to even talk to the person anyhow. You want to even talk harshly to the person, and it's not your fault, because if the person don't understand your situation, they will not get you right. because at that stage you are jobless and you are feeling guilt, you are feeling embarrassment, you are feeling shame. So these are all consequences of joblessness. So when the young adult is jobless, they feel anger, they feel guilt, they feel shame and embarrassment. Do you get it? So that is the consequence of joblessness. Okay, next question. Next question says that, let me bring this question down so we can see it well. Okay, question number 8. It says state two differences in communication styles between men and women, and between men and women. So what are the different communication styles between men and women? So women describe as tending to use more expressive style, as I told you guys. So women are more expressive, they focus on emotions, and also they are also very sensitive about how others feel. So with women, when it comes to communication styles under young adulthood, women are more expressive in nature. They also focus on emotions, and they are sensitive to how others feel. It's like anything they want to say, hey, are you okay? Oh, have you eaten this morning? You see that stage? So they are more expressive. Do you get it? Oh, should I buy you something? Oh, are you sure? Oh, do you care for this? So you see, so women are more expressive. But then when we come to men, men are described as tending to use more instrumental style. So while women use expressive style, men use what? Instrumental style. And when we say someone is instrumental, it simply means that for men, they are more focused on what? On goal. So men are more goal oriented, and they also what? Solution oriented. So for men being instrumental, it simply means that they are more goal oriented, and also they are solution oriented. So that is what? That is instrumental. So when it comes to communication styles, women are more expressive and men are more instrumental. And expressive simply means that women focus on emotions and they are sensitive with others' feelings. But then men are more instrumental, which means that they are more goal oriented and solution oriented. At that stage, they want to find solutions to some of the problems they are experiencing in life. Are you okay? So that is the difference between communication style as far as men and women is concerned. Question number 9. State two factors that have contributed to the increased life expectancy. Now, if you look at late adulthood, we talk about what? Life expectancy. So what two factors have contributed to increased life expectancy under late adulthood? So with increased life expectancy, there are several things. One, we have what? Healthier lifestyle. So a healthy lifestyle has contributed to what? To increased life expectancy. Now the second one is what? Is better nutrition. So better nutrition has also contributed to what? To an increased life expectancy. Now we also have technological advances. So technological advances has also contributed. And the last one, we have what? Competency in medicine. So therefore, I've given you 4 factors. So you can choose any 2 of your choice. Okay. So all these factors have contributed to increased life expectancy. Now let's say if someone maybe he supposed to have, let's say, die around, let's say, 50 years. Now due to better nutrition, due to healthier lifestyle, due to technological advancement, the person is able to live longer than expected. So that is what this is also trying to say. Okay. Now question number 10 says define midlife crisis. So what is midlife crisis? So when we say midlife crisis, we are saying that it's described as a period of self-reflection and emotional turbulence. Please don't forget this, the first line. Even if you write the first line, it's correct. You can even stick to the first line. That a midlife crisis is described as a period of self-reflection and emotional turbulence. Okay, midlife crisis is described as a period of self-reflection and emotional turbulence, and that's some middle-aged adult experience while reassessing their identity and life choices. As I said, you can keep it very short because the self-reflection and emotional turbulence is the most important thing here. Okay, now if you want to write more or if you want to add more, you can go on and say that the implication of midlife crisis is or they are isolation and loneliness. You can add it to the explanation if you want to add it. That midlife crisis is described as a period of self-reflection and emotional turbulence. Full stop. The implications of midlife crisis are isolation and loneliness. I think this one is very, very simple. We can keep it very simple like this and we are good to go. Okay. Number 11. What is middle adulthood? Middle adulthood. So when we say middle adulthood, we are saying that middle adulthood is a period referred to as midlife. So please, whenever any question comes on middle adulthood, please make sure you add midlife to it, because midlife is very, very important. You get it? So middle adulthood is the period referred to as what? Midlife. And midlife or middle adulthood is characterized by a new perspective of who individuals are and their understanding of the world. So midlife is characterized by who we are and our understanding of the world. Are you okay? So that's midlife. And midlife is a period of self-reflection and emotional turbulence. Midlife is a period of self-reflection and emotional turbulence. So that is it. So when we say middle adulthood, it is the same as midlife. And middle adulthood ranges from 40 to 65 years. From 40 to 65 years. That is what midlife. Don't forget. Okay. Question number 12. It says, list the 4 stages of Jean Piaget's cognitive developmental theory. List the 4 stages of Jean Piaget's cognitive developmental theory. So this question, it can be like, let's say, list any 2 of the 4 stages of Jean Piaget's cognitive development theory. Okay, so let me even make it that way. So list any 2. Okay, so list any 2 of the 4 stages of Jean Piaget's cognitive developmental theory. So these are the 4 stages. We have the sensory motor stage, pre-operational stage, concrete operational stage, and formal operational. So any 2 of these, you are correct. Yes, you are correct. Okay. Question number 13. He said, yes, and please, you see the question number 13. I expect some to come, like more of them to come. How question number 13, how it has come. I expect more to come in your exam. Like, briefly explain autonomy versus shame in Erickson's psychosocial theory. Briefly explain autonomy versus shame in Erickson's psychosocial theory. I expect you to have you can briefly explain trust versus mistrust. Like, briefly explain, let's say, generosity or like it or something like that. I know I expect that to come. Okay, now autonomy versus shame is the stage in which children become increasingly independent. That's the key thing there. So at the autonomy versus shame stage, that is when children become increasingly independent. So they develop self-care skills and they learn to exercise control over themselves. Are you okay? And also their activity. And at this stage, shame comes when they fail in their attempt to do something. So at this autonomy versus shame stage, we are saying that the children or the adolescents, or let's say the children, they begin to what? Become independent, because if they might want to do something for them, they don't want to do. And at this stage, let's say when they were a kid, their mother used to bath them. But then when they get to this autonomy versus shame phase, now they want to take the sponge and bath themselves. And they want to wear their own shoes. They want to wear their own, like they want to do things for themselves. They don't want to do for them. Are you okay? And if they are able to wear their own shoes, they see that as what? As a fulfillment or as an achievement. But then when they are unable to do that, they see that as what? As a failure. So that is what? That is autonomy versus shame. So here the child is gaining physical control and independence, and autonomy versus shame ranges from 18 months to 3 years. 18 months to 3 years, and that is where they try to gain independence. They try to do things on their own. Are you okay? Okay, someone is saying some part. Okay. Okay, so that is what that is autonomy versus shame. So at the autonomy versus shame stage, so at this stage, we are saying that it is what the children become increasingly independent. At this stage, they want to do things on the what on their own. Please, is it okay now? Benedicta, please, is it okay now? Benedict, please, is it okay now? Okay, so that is what that is autonomy versus shame. So from let me add the even the years. So here is from what from 18 months to 3 years. Okay, so from 18 months to 3 years, here they become what increasingly independent. They want to do things on their own. They want to bathe themselves. They want to bathe themselves. Are you okay? They want to bathe themselves. They want to wear their own shoes. They want to do things themselves. And if they are able to do that, they see that as what? As an achievement and also as a fulfillment. Do you get it? But then when they are unable to do that, it brings shame. Are you okay? So their ability to do that is the autonomy. And their inability to do that is what? Is the shame. And shame here is the failure. They failing to do that. Okay. All right. Now, next question. Next question says that state the 3 stages of adolescence and their appropriate or approximate age ranges. Now, the 3 stages of adolescence are we have the early adolescence, the middle adolescence, and what? And the late adolescence. Now, all these have a particular age range that it's what it spans from. So the early adolescence starts from 12 and ends at 14 years. Middle start from 14, ends at 17, and the late adolescence start from what? 17 and ends at 19. Please don't forget these ones. Okay. Yes. And here, this one, it said, briefly explain the moratorium as one of Marcia's identity status. So please, this particular slide, I don't know if it is under, I think it's under adolescence. Please, I want you to read that slide well, okay? Maybe when I'm done, I'll just do a voice note, brief explanation of that and put it on your page for you. Yes, because I expect something, because in that place, it has this diffusion and other things. I suspect something to come from there. Okay, so when we say moratorium, you're saying that it refers to a situation where an individual is actively exploring alternative commitment but has not yet made a decision. So that is what? That is a moratorium. So it refers to a situation where an individual is actively exploring alternative commitment but has not yet made a decision. You get it? Now, if you get to a certain stage in adolescent stage, you want to enter into a relationship, but you in your mind you want to do that, but then physically it's like you are not ready to do that. But then if you are there, you feel like, oh, I want to be in a relationship. You get it? But then that is in your mind, but then physically you are still delaying on that. That is what that is moratorium. You get it? Yes. So here the person is experiencing an identity crisis but is moving toward identity formation, because here you don't know what to do. It's like you want to do this and you don't know what to expect. Do you get it? So that is what moratorium is. You are actively exploring alternative for commitment, but then you have not yet made your mind or a decision. So that is that one. Okay, question number 16. 16 states that it says state 2 characteristics of late adolescence. And late adolescence span from what? From 17 to 19 years. So what are some of the characteristics of late adolescence? So I have brought several of them. So development as a firmer identity, greater emotional stability, ability to compromise, ability to make independent decisions, greater concern for others. These are all characteristics of late adolescence. He said any two. So please, I'm giving you about 7 or so, about 8. So take any two out of this. Are you okay? Any two out of this is correct. So state any two characteristics of late adolescence. We have all this. So they have increased self-reliance, greater concern for others, ability to compromise, and so on and so forth. So these are all the answers for that. All right. Question number 17. Question number 17 states that differentiate between externalizing and internalizing disorders, and give one example of each. Differentiate between internalizing and also externalizing disorders, giving one example of each. Now, when we say externalizing disorder, we are saying that there are disorders that involve behaviors directed outward. And so you see, there are behaviors that are outward. That is what externalizing disorders, or there are behaviors that are external in nature. So when we say externalizing disorders, they involve behaviors that are directed outward or that are external in nature. An example includes, we have conduct disorder and delinquency. So conduct disorder and delinquency is an example of externalizing disorder. Now the opposite is what? Internalizing disorder. So when we say internalizing disorders, they involve psychological problems directed inward. So as externalizing is outward or external, the internalizing disorder is what? Is inward or outward. Sorry, is inward or what? Inside. So internalizing disorders involve psychological problems that are directed inside or inward of the adolescents. An example includes, we have depression, we have suicide, we have anxiety. We can add more to it. So we have anxiety. Okay, they are all small letters. Let me make it small letter. So we have anxiety, we have suicide, and so on and so forth. So these are all examples of what? Internalizing disorders. So we should know the difference between the two, and we should know the examples under each of them. Don't forget. Okay. Question number 18. It says state 2 reasons. Number 18 says that state 2 reasons why adolescents may engage in self-harm according to our slides. So according to lifespan, state 2 reasons why adolescents may engage in self-harm. So what will come for the adolescent to harm themselves? So reasons for self-harm includes: 1, some adolescents harm themselves to obtain relief from feelings. Some also harm themselves as a method of coping. Some also harm themselves to prevent dissociation. Some also harm themselves as a form of self-nurturing. And some also harm themselves as a form of self-punishment. Now I've given you 5 of the 2 reasons why they harm themselves. So any 2 of these 5 is okay. Any 2 of the 5 is okay. Okay. Any 2 of the 5 is okay. Now question number 19 rather. Number 19 says that state 4 forms of support that may be provided as part of end life care. So when a client is at the end of life care, what are some of that social workers we can provide for this particular person who is at end of life? So when patients or clients are at the end of life care, we do so many things for them as social workers. 1, we help them manage their pain. So adequate pain management. You know, at that stage they are going through pain because their days left on the earth is like, let's say, even a week or even 3 days or 4 days, and they are going through pain. Imagine somebody going through cancer which has spread throughout the person's liver, the person's, let's say, kidneys, their spines, and they will be going through pain. So the support we provide for these people at the end of life is that we help them manage their pain. That is the first one. 2, medical management. Sometimes we also help them manage their medicines, because maybe they might be going through some pains and they will need some painkillers to reduce their pain. But then at that stage, they wouldn't be able to even open the lid of the painkiller to take some. So we are there to manage their medicines. So medical management is one of the support we provide at end of life. Now aside that one too, we also provide spiritual support. Yes. So you know, when somebody maybe 2 days to die, you can be there with the person. Sometimes they even call the pastor to come and pray with them. So that is what spiritual support. We also have providing comforting rituals. Yes. So some of them, maybe if they will die, maybe they have 3 days to die. Maybe if they will die, let's say if today is Sunday, maybe they have 3 days to die. Maybe a day before they die, they can even tell the family that they want all the grandchildren to come and surround their bed, so that at least the person will have a few of the grandkids before he or she dies. That is what they want. So one of the support is that we provide this comforting rituals for them. Maybe some also want to they want to shave their hairs, they want to do so many things, they want to cut their fingernails. These are all comforting rituals that we do for them at the end of life care. Sometimes so we also provide options for care. Yes, some people at that stage, maybe let's say today is 16th and their birthday is on the 20th, but then due to their condition, maybe they will die maybe around 17th or 18th, but then they also want to celebrate their last birthday before they die. So the option for care is that we can put them on life support to extend their life from, let's say, the 17th to the 20th. So immediately they see their birthday, they celebrate their birthday, people coming around to celebrate with them, then they will take them off the life support and they will die. So that is providing options for care. So these are some forms of support we provide to people at the end of life care. Please don't forget. Okay. State 2 benefits of the Brasseting Neonatal Assessment Skill. That's BNAS. So the 2 benefits of the Brasseting Neonatal Assessment Skill is that it increases the mother's confidence. It also improves parent-child interaction, and it increases parent understanding. So we said any 2. I've given you 3, so you can take any 2 of your choice. State 2 benefit of the BNAS, that's the Brasseting Neonatal Assessment Skill. I told you the last time we meant that it can be NBAS. It's all the same thing. Okay, the answer remains the same thing. Don't forget. So increase mother's confidence, improve parent-child interaction or communication, then increase parent understanding. That's question number 20. Okay. Now, what are some of the limitations of the BNAS? Even though we are saying that it's very good because it increases the mother's confidence, it also improves parent-child communication, and it increases parent understanding, but then it has limitations. One of the limitations is that it has poor validity. Yes. So you can't really have confidence in it 100%. Yes, because it is not entirely 100% valid, and that is one of its limitations. The second one is that it is limited in ability to predict future intelligence. So it can't predict the future intelligence of the infant, and that is also one limitation of the BNAS. That's the Brasseting Neonatal Assessment Skill. So these are some of the limitations of the assessment skill, or of the 2. All right, don't forget. Okay. All right. Now, question number 23. It says, give 2 signs of secure attachment. Give 2 signs of secure attachment. So when the infant has a secure attachment, 1, they smile and make eye contact with their primary caregiver. Okay, with their caregiver. And I'm using caregiver because some of the women, when they give birth, they have who they call nannies. So nannies will be there to take care of the kid from that, let's say from 1 month, like 2 months. Some of them, because of their way, they give their babies to their nannies. So the nanny here becomes the caregiver. So that's the reason why I didn't add the mother. So when a child has a secure attachment, they smile and make eye contact with their caregiver. That's the first one. Second one, they seek comfort from their primary caregiver. Seeking comfort here simply means that when they are crying and somebody comes for them, they will still cry. But then when the primary caregiver comes, they will stop crying. Why? Because at that moment they they use their five senses to communicate. Are you okay? To learn. So they know the smell, the scent of the primary caregiver, and they know them because they look at them through eye contact. So when they take them, they smell them and know that okay, now this is the person I belong to. So they seek comfort from their primary caregiver. And these are two signs of secure attachment. So the next one is what? Stage two signs of attachment problems. So these are what? An infant having secure attachment, and the next one is what? An infant having an attachment problem. So if they are having an attachment problem, what are some of their signs? One, an infant having an attachment problem, they do not show preference for a particular adult. So for them, they don't know who is their primary caregiver. Anybody who open their arms, they will go. Someone say question number 22. Give two signs of secure attachment. Yes, so these are the signs of secure attachment. They smile and make eye contact with their primary caregiver. They seek comfort from their primary caregiver. So these are signs of secure attachment. Okay. Now, stage two signs of attachment problem. So if a child is having an attachment problem, what signs will let us know that this child is having an attachment problem? So one, infants with attachment problem, they do not show preference for a particular adult. So for them, they don't know who is even their primary caregiver. Anybody who open their arms, so the characteristics of being, you can't write it as, yes, Mali, you can't write that because that is just the features. Okay, writing that it has 47 skill is just the features, and it is not what it's just the feature, but then it's not something that's very, very important. So the main relevance one is that it improves children communication, the parent-child communication, and also it improves the parent's confidence. Okay, so that's the key thing there. I get what you are trying to say, but then the 47 skill is just describing the two, that this two has 47 skill, but then that is not its core benefit, okay, to the infant and also the mother. All right, now stage two signs of attachment problems in infant. One, so a child with attachment problem, they have no preference for a particular adult. So anybody who open their arms, they will go. And sometimes that's why some of the infants, when they are crawling, and maybe if care is not taken, and maybe they crawl outside the compound and somebody sees them, maybe they can take them away, and that will be all, because that child has an attachment problem. But any child who does not have an attachment problem, they will cry and cry till you return them to their parents. But in this case, they don't cry. If you give them food, they will eat. They don't even know if you are even their mother or even their father. They don't know. Okay, the second one is failure to thrive. Failure to thrive simply means that they cannot develop in the environment. So if they go, they can't form relationship with their peers, like they have bad attitude, wherever, like if the infants are all playing football, for them, like if they go there, they even go and create mess or confusion there, because they did not have attachment while they were growing. So they can't mingle with their peers, they can't do anything, so they fail to thrive. Okay, now the third one is that they seek attention from strangers. Yes, so if they see someone going, now they want to follow the person. Okay, so that's another one. So the infant may wander away from caregivers. So this kind of infant with attachment problem, let's say I am the mother. Hey, I cannot be the mother. Okay, so let's say tactician is the mother. Okay, so Rita is the mother, and Rita will give the child to, let's say, David. Now, if Rita is going back to take the child will not come to Rita. Like, the mother will open the arms, the child will not come. So they may wander away from their caregivers. Are you okay? That is also a sign of attachment problem. All right. Now I've given a whole lot of them. So just take any two of your choice, and that will be all. Okay. Question number 24. It said, state two implications of secure attachment. So if a child is able to have a secure attachment, what implication would it have on the child or on the infant? So an infant having a secure attachment, one, the implication is that they will perform better in school, and two, they will have a healthy relationship. So secure attachment brings about better performance in school, and it also brings about what? A healthy relationship. These are the implications of a secure attachment. All right. Question number 25. It says, state any two stimuli babies habituate. State any two stimuli babies habituate. Now, when we say habituate simply means that, like, they've come to know their thing, and now they are okay with their thing. Okay, you know, sometimes small babies, if let's say they are there and you sing for them, the first time they are listening to it, but then when it goes on and on and on and on, now even if you are singing, they don't even care again, because they are used to it. Okay, now they are used to that particular lullaby. So that simply means that they habituate. It means now they've learned about the thing and they are okay with the thing. Okay, so when we say babies habituate, that is what we are trying to say. Now that thing is no longer new to them, and they are okay with the thing. Do you get it? So that is babies habituate. So their brain learns, they're repeating things. Okay, that is habituating. So habituating simply means that their brain learns to ignore repeating things, and these repeating things includes, we have sound, we have light, we have touch. Now sound here is what? Is constant lullaby. Now if let's say every day baby there on pesu, like if you are doing that thing, now they become okay, they become used to it. So even if you are singing again, they don't care, because now their brain has become used to it, and now it is ignoring the repetition that you are giving to them. That is habituation. So habituation simply means that they stop paying attention to sight, to sound, or feelings, because it happens over and over again. So when we say babies habituate, it simply means that they stop paying attention to some things that they have been seeing or hearing or touching over and over again. And these are any two stimuli that they habituate. So one, they habituate sound. And the example is what? Is constant lullaby. So if you constantly sing a lullaby to them, and now they become used to it because they've been hearing it over and over again, now they choose to ignore it. Okay. The second one is what? Is light. So light here, assuming every day you give your phone to them, and maybe their phone, maybe toys will be passing. Now they'll be watching it all over the time. Now if you get the time, if you give your phone to them, they will throw it away. Because why? Now the brain has already learned that thing, and the brain starts ignore, because it sees it as a repetition to them. Are you okay? That is habituating. Please, do you get what I'm trying to explain? Do you get babies habituate? Do you understand it now? Please let me know if you get the explanation of what I'm trying to explain. Please, do we get it? Can you comment for me to know if you're okay? Right. Okay, so these are some of the things that babies habituate. So one, they habituate sound, they habituate light, and they also habituate touch. Now you see with the touch, sometimes maybe you give your hand to them and they will hold your hand. They don't want to even move their hand, like going, coming. A good time, if you even do that, they won't even mind you again, because the brain sees that as repetition to them, and now the brain chooses to ignore. So that is habituate. Yes. So the answers are what? Three. I've given you three, but you say any two. So you can write sound, you give example. Light, you give example. Touch, you give example. Okay. Question number 26. It says, to facilitate communication, adults may use strategies such as recasting. What does recasting mean? Yes, when we met, I explained recasting to you guys. So recasting here simply means that it's a communication strategy where adults repeat child's utterance in a grammatically correct or expanded form. So when we say recasting, it simply means repetition. But then in this repetition, the adult is repeating the child's utterances in a grammatically correct or expanded form. For example, if a child says, "Mommy, cat ran," so "Mommy, cat ran," then adult or the mommy will recast it as, "Yes, the cat is running." So you see, the child says, "Mommy, cat ran," and the adult will be like, "Oh yes." Then the adult will recast "Mommy, cat ran" into, "Yes, the cat is running." So when we say recasting, it's a communication strategy where adult repeats child's utterances in a grammatically correct and expanded form. So for example, if a child says, "Mommy, cat ran," the adult might recast it as, "Yes, the cat is running." And the cat is running is a grammatically correct form of "Mommy, cat ran." Please, do you understand? Okay. Now, under adolescence, there's this key thing there called storm and stress. Storm and stress. Now, when we say storm and stress and adolescent, what are we going to mean? So when we say storm and stress, at adolescent stage, we go through several things. Are you okay? Now, these several things includes changing emotions and also behaviors. So when we say storm and stress in adolescence, it refers to the rapidly changing emotions and behaviors with adolescents. Okay, so let me make it very simple here, but you just look at it as I've written it, but listen to what I'm saying, explanation. I'll make it very simple. So when we say storm and stress, we are saying that it refers to the rapidly changing emotions and behaviors in adolescence. Make it very simple. Storm and stress refers to the rapidly changing emotions and behaviors in adolescence. Okay, and this storm and stress is seen as a natural outcome of young adults learning to cope with new unfamiliar situations. So storm and stress is seen as something that is natural in nature, because any adolescent will go through storm and stress. So going through storm and stress, if you reach out to you, don't see it as something that's very huge. No, it's a natural process that we all go through. Are you okay? So it refers to the rapidly changing emotions and behaviors in adolescence. That is what storm and stress. And the reason why we are saying it is natural is that it helps the young adult to cope with new unfamiliar situations. Now let me give you an example. Okay, now assuming, so you see a lady of about 12 years or 13 years, when the mother is cooking, the mother will be sending her, "Go and buy this, okay, come and peel the cassava, come and peel the plantain." Now at that stage, that young adolescent will see it as very stressful. Like, "Mommy, every day you are sending me, every day you are sending me, my friends are playing, you are sending me." So they see that as what? As a storm and stress. Are you okay? So they see that as a storm and stress. So, "Mommy, you there, every day you are sending me, every day you are doing this, every day you are doing that." So they see that as a storm and stress. And if they are able to cope with that for a long time, when they grow and maybe they move from their parents' house to go to, let's say, the boarding school, where they have to wash their own clothes, where they have to do their own thing, their own cooking, now it wouldn't be something new to them. Why? Because they've already coped with it in their early stages. So we are saying that storm and stress is something very, very natural. So if you are going through storm and stress, it's natural because it will help you to cope with new and unfamiliar situations. Are you okay? So storm and stress refers to rapidly changing emotions and behaviors in adolescence, and it is seen as a natural process because it helps the adolescents or the young adolescent to cope with new unfamiliar situations ahead of their life. So that is what storm and stress. Okay. Now question number 28. It says, due to the range of symptoms involved, how is autism called? So due to the range of symptoms involved, autism is called what? Autism spectrum disorder, so ASD. So due to the range of symptoms involved, autism is called autism spectrum disorder, ASD. So that's the answer. That's the answer for question number 28. Okay. Question number 29. It says, what does the statement mean? So what does the statement mean? Babies cool between 1 to 3 months after birth. So if babies are cooling between 1 to 3 months after birth, it simply means that this statement simply means that infants typically begins to make soft and repetitive vowel sounds. So the key word here is what? Vowel sounds. So when they are cooling between the first to the third month, it means they are beginning to make soft and repetitive vowel sounds as a form of early communications. So as a form of early communication, babies or infants begins to use a soft and repetitive vowel sounds as a form of early communication. Now you see, when they are 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you see, if they are there, maybe especially after eating, after feeding them, breastfeeding them, and they are there, maybe they are on the mat. Now you see they are full, so you see they are there, they will be like, oh, like ah, as like they are doing ah, they are doing oh, you see, because they are full, like they've eaten, like they've taken their breast milk, and now everything is okay. So you see, they will be like, I don't know, you see, now I'm not a kid, so I can't do what they do, but you know what I'm trying to mean, like. So they be like ah, like oh, you see that thing, like you see that is cooing. So cooing is what? Between the first to third month is when they begin to make soft, repetitive vowel words. Are you okay? That's a form of what? Early sign of communication. And this same question, if it comes like, what does the statement mean? Babies coo between the 4th to the 5th month after birth. It is what? So from the 4th to the 5th month, that one is when they begin to make soft, repetitive consonant sounds. So from the 1st to the 3rd month is the vowel sounds. But then from the 3rd to the 4th to the 5th month, they begin to make what? Consonant sounds. Like now they can call mama, dada. You see, from the 3rd to 5th month, that is what? That is consonant sounds. But then from the 1st to 3rd is what? It's vowel sounds. Okay, so like, let me give an example here. So example. So you see, like something like this. You see, so yes. So you see, so o then a is what? Is vowel sounds. Now with the consonant sound, they will be like what? Like mama, dada. You see, M is a consonant, D is a consonant. Are you okay? But A is a vowel, O is a vowel. Okay. Hey, someone is saying O U A. Charlie. And it was way. Let's continue. Okay. Yes. So the O and the U. Yes. So that's the vowel. That's the vowel sound. Please don't forget to see. I'm saying that if it is 1st to 3rd month, they make soft, repetitive vowel sounds. But then if from the 3rd to the 5th month is what? Consonant sounds. Don't forget, please. Don't forget. Okay. In lifespan studies, development is said to be contextual. What does contextual development at the infant stage mean? Use one example to explain. This one, I think I explained it to you guys at the tutorial. I told you that when we say contextual development, it means that development is influenced by the social, cultural, and historical context. That is what development being contextual. But then at the infant stage, this means that development is shaped by their immediate environment, their family interactions, and their cultural and societal expectations. So that is the answer for this particular question. So you need to explain what contextual development is. Then you link it to infancy. So contextual development means that development is influenced by social, cultural, and historical context. Full stop. Now you continue by saying that at the infant stage, this means that development is shaped by their immediate environment, family interactions, and cultural practices or societal expectation. Now, for instance, let's say an infant who is raised in a culture that emphasizes early independence might be placed in their own sleeping space sooner than an infant from a culture that practices co-sleeping. Now, if your parents, their culture to them, if the Europeans, even if the child is even 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, they have a single room, that a separate room that the child is sleeping there. Now they will leave the child and come and sleep in their own bedroom, but then that is their culture. So if that is their culture, it means that the infant will be having their own separate room. But then if you come to our culture where we deal with co-sleeping, Charlie, you'll be there till 17 years or 60 years. Same, we are all in the same room. Are you okay? So that is an example of what? Contextual development. So for instance, another example, a child or an infant who was raised in Accra and an infant who was raised in Kumasi, due to the context, they will all behave differently. Let's say a child who was raised at Choco, that thing, hey, we don't care, like, you see, hey, you see that thing, like those things, I don't want to use that far west, that thing, they'll be using that because that is their thing. You get it? And it is normal because that is their context. You get it? Yeah. And another example, a child who was maybe born, let's say, at maybe 2017, 2018 coming, these children, they were born in an era where they have to be reading books and other things. But then compare that to a child who was born in the COVID era. You see, at the COVID era, there was more of what? Technology. So everything was digitalized. You get it? Like using your phone, using your PC, using your laptop, everything. Watching TV because there was a lockdown. We don't go anywhere. Do you get it? So that is it. So Gloria, easy, Gloria, easy. That's a whole. Sure, it's not easy. Gloria, easy, okay, easy. You know that thing? Like sometimes I used to visit my friends at Alajo. You see, when you go to Alajo, me, I'm a Kumasi. I was born and raised in Kumasi. So my behavior and the way I see things is different. Sometimes if you go to Alajo, if I visit my friends at Alajo, you see, hey, like Charlie, like that thing, they'll be saying those things. Hey, I can't mention some here, but hey, like it's even funny. But let me continue. All right, please, this question, look at it very, very well. It's very important. This question, very, very, yes. This is if I go to my friends, they like kinky. Yes, Eben. My friend is Eben is a shy tete. Eben like they like kinky and they like banku too. Banku with pepper. Me, you see Kumasi, we eat this banku with okro. So but them for them they don't like okro, like only kinky and pepper. So that if I eat then my throat, see, it will be, you see that thing. Hey, I can't swallow it well. But for them, Charlie, they will small it well and you see pepper and they do that whole like very, very pepperish. But for them, they are good to go. Yeah, when they are done, then they change the language, Charlie. Yeah. So you saw me. You see that thing. Yeah. So let's move on. He said, what does adolescent growth spurt mean in adolescent? Hey, Derek, hey, easy. Hey, easy. Let me go on. I don't see anything. Let me go on, Charlie. Chiranko. Okay. What does adolescent growth spurt mean in adolescent development? Please, this question. Question one. Look at it very, very well. Adolescent growth. Let me make it even red. Adolescent growth spurt. Yes. It's very important. When we say adolescent growth spurt, what does it mean in adolescent? So, adolescent growth spurt usually occurs at the age of 16. Hey, Derek. Adolescent growth spurt usually occurs at the age of 16 and it's a period of physical growth. So please don't forget, the main important thing here is that adolescent growth part is a period of what? Physical growth. Don't forget that adolescent growth part, don't forget that it usually occurs at the age of 16 years, and it's a period of physical growth. That's the main thing to explain adolescent growth part. So whenever you hear growth part, let or make sure you remember physical growth. Okay, make sure you remember physical growth. I don't have to read it again, because if I laugh. Okay, I don't have to remember. What I was going to say. You see, when you see adolescent growth parts, the first thing you must remember is that it has to do with what? Physical growth. So adolescent growth part usually occurs at the age of 16, and it's a period of what? Of physical growth, particularly in height and weight. So this is also one key thing here. So adolescent growth part deals with physical growth, but then with the physical growth, we are looking at height and weight. Okay, we are looking at height and weight in a physical growth. So adolescent growth part usually occurs at the age of 16. At the age of 16, Betty, at the age of 16, and is a period of physical growth, particularly in height and weight. So that is adolescent growth part. Please don't forget adolescent growth part. Don't forget that is a period of physical growth, particularly in height and weight. That's the adolescent experience, usually at the age of 16. Don't forget. Okay, now let me move on. Okay, so it says childhood as a developmental stage. Childhood as a developmental stage has its own hazards. So childhood as a developmental stage has its own hazards and disorders. State any two of them. Now you know in the tutorial or the tutorial, I told you guys that every stage from childhood to adolescent to adulthood, they all have their developmental hazards or disorders. Now, at the childhood stage, we have two main developmental hazards or disorders. The first one is what? Is the ADHD. That is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. So ADHD is the first developmental childhood developmental hazard. Don't forget. The second one is what? Childhood depression. This one, remember I told you guys, don't forget, please. Don't forget. Okay. Now, question number 33 says that explain acquired aphasia in infancy. Explain acquired aphasia in infancy. Now, in infancy, when we say aphasia, we are saying that it refers to a loss of language ability that occurs after a period of normal language development. So acquired aphasia in infancy refers to the loss of language ability that occurs after a period of normal language development, typically due to a disorder or a brain injury. So when we say acquired aphasia in infancy, is when, let's say, at the age of 1, at the age of 2, 3, now the child has even started making mama, dada, the child like saying all these things. Now immediately the child reaches 5 years, the child cannot speak again. It means the child is developing what we call acquired aphasia. And initially, the child had already had a period of normal language development where the child can say mama and dada. But then all of a sudden, the child cannot even say anything again. So that's why we call it acquired aphasia. So it refers to a loss of language ability that occurs after a period of normal language development due to a brain injury or a disorder. So these are what? This is the explanation of acquired aphasia in infancy. Okay, so I think that will be all for the short answer questions. Now let's go to the essay questions. Yes, so for the essay questions, I didn't just bring much of them because right now I know it's ADHD. Okay, or do you need to? Oh, okay. Malik, okay, you can write ADHD. Everybody knows ADHD. Okay, you can write ADHD as a simple form. Everybody knows that. All right. Now with the essay questions, I didn't bring much essay question because I know if an essay question will come, it will be what we are just learning. But maybe it will require you to write something more. So maybe, okay, let me give an example here. I brought something here. Okay. So question number 1, something like that, something like this. Yes, something like this. Very, very simple. I just wanted how you should explain it in the essay type. So it can be like, let's say, discuss young adulthood as a developmental stage. You see, this can be an essay question. Discuss young adulthood as a developmental stage. Now, I just wrote something that you should bring in your answer. So in your answer, you need to explain the major developmental tasks at young adulthood. Don't forget that at the young adulthood, and you need to also bring the age category. Now, the age category, let me even bring it before I even, so the age range. Okay. So if you've got a question like this, like discuss young adulthood as a developmental stage, now this is how you should answer it. So in your answer, explain the major developmental tasks of young adulthood, and don't forget there were 2. 1 is what? Economic independence, and 2, independence in decision making. So these are the 2 main developmental tasks, or the major developmental tasks of young adulthood. Now you move on to explain the age range, and young adulthood start from what? Start from 18 to 40 years. Don't forget the age range. Now you go on to talk about Levinson's theory. Are you okay? Now what Levinson talked about? Levinson talked about what? Love, occupation, and also friendship. Okay. Now you also have to talk about intimacy as well. Now after talking about intimacy, let us also know the crisis at young adulthood. And the crisis there is what? Is arrested adulthood. And when someone has an arrested adulthood, what are the implications? That is what? Isolation and loneliness. Are you okay? Like something like that. This is how you should write it. So whenever a question comes on the essay type, like write everything you know about that thing. Let me put it in short. Write everything you know about that thing. Are you okay? Because right now in the essay type, we don't know if it will be much or maybe simple. Do you get it? But then I just want you to know that whatever it is, just know that you need to provide all the information that you know there. Okay. Question 2. Discuss the concept of intimacy versus isolation in young adulthood. So we can get a question like this. We should discuss the concept of intimacy versus isolation in young adulthood. So here in your explanation, you need to explain what intimacy is. Okay. Then you need to also explain the development of intimate relationship. You need to also let us know independence. Okay. Now you come to isolation, loneliness, and maybe the possible consequences of inadequate interpersonal relationship. You get it? So it's not difficult. I know it's not difficult. Just understand it in this frame or this perspective, and I know you can write more. So if we are asked to, let's say, explain something about intimacy versus isolation, that is what you should write about. You get it? So just know what to explain under each of them. Okay. Now question number 3. Examine the major developmental issues associated with what? Middle adulthood. Examine the major developmental issues associated with what? Middle adulthood. So assuming we have a question like this, how will you answer? So your answer should discuss midlife. And what is midlife? Midlife is a phase where you get to know yourself and your worldview and your world around you or your environment. That's midlife. And midlife is what? It's a period of self-reflection and emotional turbulence. So you need to write this in explaining what? Your midlife. Then you have to also bring something about the characteristics of the men and the women when it comes to midlife. So and you know midlife, the age range is what? It's from 40 to 65 years. That's the midlife. And at that stage too, you know what are some of the characteristics of men and women. At that stage, the women will be approaching menopause. Are you okay? So you need to talk about, and also the men to something more about them. Now, at the midlife stage, we have communication differences. Don't forget, I explained that at the midlife stage, women tend to be more expressive and men to be more what? Instrumental. Men are more instrumental and women are more what? Expressive. Now let us know the midlife crisis and the argument concerning whether Midlife crisis is inevitable experiences. So this is something you must write, and I know it's not difficult. I know you can do it. Do you get it? I know you can do it. Then the last one I added was that discuss late adulthood, death and dying from a social work perspective. So if you get a question like this, that we should discuss late adulthood, death and dying from a social work perspective, here in your answer, you have to examine the physiological aging, the chronic health problems, the nursing homes, the hospice care, and the role of the social worker in end of life. This is very, very simple. So in your answer, let us know that examine physiological aging, that at this stage, death and dying or late adulthood start from 65 upwards. He said, there is a, so please can I learn only this and not learn the slide? Ideally, what we are doing here is the slides, because everything I am doing with you guys is basically from the slides. Okay, so we learning here is automatically we learning the slides. Please, do you understand? So maybe some part that were not captured here, you can revise that in the slides. I think that's the answer I can give it to Derry. Okay, now you say we should discuss late adulthood, and now you need to know the age bracket. So here is what, 65 plus. Okay, 65 plus. Now in your answer, examine the physiological aging and some of the chronic health problems that they might experience. At this stage, they can experience hypertension, asthma. Are you them? So mention all of them, and also talk of nursing homes. And nursing home is also called old people's home. Is also called referred to as convalescent home. It's also called care homes. Let us know all, what you are writing. Now you come to hospice. Now what is hospice? So hospice is what? It's a place that are designed for those who have less than 6 months life expectancy. Talk about what? Hospice. Now what do we do there? The role of a social worker at the end of life. So at the hospice, they manage pain, they provide comfort. Are you okay? Those things, let us know that you know. And also the end of life, what do we do at the end of life? So social workers, they manage medications. They also manage they manage medications. They manage some of the comfort of the person who is at the end of life. At the end of life, so they also provide alternative care. They also provide spiritual support. Write about this. This is what you should write about them. Do you get it? I said we don't know what questions we will be getting in the essay type, but then I'm just letting you know how you should approach your essay. Do you get it? All right. Please, do you have any question for me? Do you have any question for me, please? Okay. So as I said, then please don't forget, I told you guys to go and watch the Eric Erickson's video. She can also give us, let's say, explain initiative versus guilt according to what Eric Erickson's psychosocial stage of, she can give you that in the essay type. So please make sure you learn about those things, and even also learn about Jane Piaget. Okay, learn about Jane Piaget. Okay, someone is asking me a question. He said, please, can you explain initiative versus, can you explain initiative versus, now when we talk of initiative versus guilt, it is basically at the at age of preschool. Okay, so initiative versus guilt often occurs at the preschool, and at the preschool we are looking at 3 to 5 years. Okay, and at this stage, the main focus of initiative versus guilt is what? Is asserting power and control through play. Okay, now here they are trying to create something. Okay, they are trying to create something. They are trying to lead, let's say, debate. They are trying to lead their peer groups. They are trying to even lead their group and so on. That is initiative. They want to bring new ideas on board. If they are able to do this, now they have an assertive power to control even their peers, and it's creating a sense of purpose. That is the initiative. So if they are able to, maybe in class, they tell the teacher that, okay, please, I want to be the one to read the whole paragraph. because they are trying to what? Gain competence. So if the teachers allow them to do and they are able to do and do, fosters a sense of purpose. But then if they are turned down, it brings about what? Disapproval. And any disapproval that they wanted to do something and the person say, oh no, I don't want you to do it, it brings about what? Guilt in them. So for instance, you see, from 3 to 5 years, now they want to wear their own uniform to school. They want to wear their own shoes to. So if they are able to wear their uniforms, they see that as what? As a sense of purpose. But then if their parents don't tell them that, maybe if their parents didn't allow them to wear their own shirts and their own shoes, now they see, and that's a form of a disapproval. And if the parents disapprove them from wearing their own shirt, it brings about guilt. Okay, so that is initiative versus guilt. So at the initiative stage, they want to create something. You get it? They want to lead, they want to learn, they want to do several things. And if there's a disapproval, the disapproval leads to what? To the guilt. So please learn about the Eric Erickson's psychosocial stakes. It's very, very important. Are you okay? As I said, we don't know what to expect, but then we should be able to learn and have knowledge about everything. Yes, yes. So as you are saying, as Malikas are saying, so that is it. Okay. So I know you can do well, and I think God being so good, the exam is 12 p.m. going tomorrow. So you can have time and come and go through the questions so that you get your understanding. And trust me, I know we will do well this time. Yes, I know we will really, really do well. Okay, so the questions were like I did it. You see, right now I'm on YouTube, right? So there's a working space there that I do it. So I can't share unless you go there and access it. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah. Sorry for that. But I think it's still there, so you can have it as early as you want, or yes, anything. All right. Okay, so please, I know you've prepared. Yes, I know you've prepared very well for this particular exams, and the thing that if preparation meets opportunity, the outcome is what? Is a triumphant destiny and then maybe a triumphant results. I know you've prepared very well for this particular and if your preparation meets the opportunity, I know the results will be great, and I know you do well. Yes, I have faith that you do well. Okay, yes, I have faith that you do well. So I think with that being said, I think we will call it a day. Yes, so I wish you guys all the best. Yes, and I'm rooting for you. I know you do well. Okay, all right. So I'll see you guys when I see you. Bye bye for now. The boy is tired.
Nggak pernah nafsu.